Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Uh-oh, dings. Yeah. So, hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Who's got that echo?
Really?
Really? Gotta pause the stream.
I thought it was just in my headphones.
Gotta pause the stream. So how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, and yeah, welcome to Sunday Morning Gathering, aka Blacksmiths Church. I'm getting just dings and people are waking up and wanting to talk to me. Good morning, Trail Dust, First Lurker, Shane Lalonde, Transcendental Artist Studios, also there on the chat or on the screen. Stephen Parsons, yeah. So, how you doing? Jack Pines. Still in my first cup of joe and I'm told to pick up some hay. Paul Orchard and Bortagov, Wayne Heights, Mountain Home Forge. Yep, a few of the channel members are in here. I can't wait till you guys are all channel members. Good morning, Ben Strickland. So, go into the how was your week, how you doing kind of thing. I had a bit of a slow week at work. Got a bit of stuff done out in the shop, so that was fun. Got, obviously continued working on those Damascus doubloons. I have one here to show you guys. I went with a bit of a darker pattern and found something a little neat since they're obviously not for blades. I quenched these in water and got some nice fractures and cracks on it, throughout it here and there, which, in the etch just gives it that little extra special texture. I liked it. Remind us how to become channel members. When you go to my homepage on YouTube, right next to the subscribe button, there's a join button. You click that and follow the stuff there. I have several different tiers, and it gives you access to custom emojis, which I actually have something I wanted to say about that too after, the morning how-dos. But yeah, here's one of them. It's going to be difficult to focus, but yeah, I think that looks good. Kind of works. Looks good. Worked out for me, I think. Yeah. Let that unzoom. It zooms when I focus. So you guys got the beard. Luffy, I do. Dylan Corwin, how do? But yeah, so I got those done. I kind of cleaned them up and tossed them in acid for a couple of hours, and I could have gone longer and gotten a much deeper etch. But last time I did that, I really screwed up the design. So, but yeah, got other stuff done, and then yesterday got out there too, and just kind of had an all-over productive weekend. We had a drop in temperature. It was in the mid-80s. It's going to be 85 today, so hopefully a productive day in the shop again today. How was your week there, Sully?
Yeah, my week was, I don't know, it was fair, I guess. It was hot outside, so I didn't go out much. Worked about 4 days, but they were long ones, so,
Yeah.
still got a full week and a half in there. Other than that, yeah, no, it's just a week,
Just a week.
Just a week. Yeah, it's pretty uneventful. I did get to where I'm caught up in the editing of podcasts.
Yep. which, by the way, y'all should be subscribed to. I don't have the link on me right now.
Yeah,
uh,
that takes some try. I'd have to post it from my phone, as
yeah,
I want to. Um,
yeah. But
oh,
yeah,
I can't.
not every week has to be eventful.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just like try to come up with what happened this week. Let's see, I slept for 2 hours, then I worked for 17, and then I slept for 3 hours, then I worked for 17, and then I slept for 4 hours, and I worked for 21. I mean, like, there's just not a whole lot of action in there other than moving rigs. Well, except for that 21-hour day. That was I got there at 7 a.m. to set the last two pieces. And yeah, I didn't get in until like 1 a.m. in the morning because they had problems. And so I sat there all day long and watched the crap out of Netflix. I got to finish up a couple shows I'd been trying to finish, and that's about it. Uh, Other than that, what did I do? Well, I got to stop saying. That's just
That's
when I've got nothing. It's this uh uh uh
um
go time filler. It's really irritating the crap out of me because I hear myself saying it, and then when I go back to edit this, I'm gonna be slapping myself in the forehead, going, "Oh, you've got to quit doing that."
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, to me, it's the pauses, breaks, stutters, etc. are all part of natural speak. Um, it just is. And if you focus too much on it, that's when you trip yourself up. Trip yourself up. Hey, Michael.
I did fire up the forge. I don't know which day this week it was because like they all kind of ran together. I did fire up the forge and build something, but I currently can't recall what it was. I mean, like I can't believe because I ran out of gas in the gas forge, and I was like, yeah, and I couldn't go get gas because of the time of day. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just fire up the coal forge and finish up this little project.
There you go.
And I have no idea what I made. That's really weird.
Can't for the life of you think about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll give you a second, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, carry on.
um, what was I gonna go into? Yeah, I went out to the shop on Friday, and it's like I was like, all right, I had a day off, and I'm like, all right, be productive. I woke up at 6:30 like usual, and did my whole morning thing, drinking coffee, watching the news and everything, and got out there, and went to the office, got my paycheck, and I'm like, all right, first heat break I take, I'm gonna head up into town, and I'm gonna buy do my whole paycheck stuff, and buy some stuff that I need, and this and that. And it's like, I'm like, all right, what to do? Well, I don't want to light the coal forge for what I'm doing. It was working on the Damascus. I just wanted to kind of keep an even heat throughout the thing. And So I'm like, all right, I'll set up the gas forge. I set up the gas forge, and I'm like, not out of propane. Dang. All right, so let me go build something, like weld something, fabricate something real quick, and go to use my flex core, and freaking dang coil's empty. And I'm like, it's like everything was forcing me to just go into town early and waste the cool hours of the day, um, running around. And well, finally got back to it around 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah, looks like Sully has the idea.
I finally figured it out. Okay, so I guess it was about Monday or Tuesday. I came in from my night shift, and no, it was a day shift. Could have been a night shift. Okay, I don't remember that. But my spice shelf had fallen, and I have two spice shelves above the sink in the kitchen here at work. And the top one, I got tired. They used to both be held on by them 3M like sticky hooks that you stick to the wall. It's got the little two-sided tape behind it, and we
Mm-hmm.
used to have those all the way around. Well, they kept falling off. I mean, the hooks, the shelf, all the spices, everything. And so I got fed up with it one time, and I put in some pieces of I don't know what it's called, but it looks like unistrut, but it's angle iron. It's like angle iron with a bunch of holes in it. And I put a couple pieces of that up against the cabinet on the top shelf and put the board on top of it. Well, the bottom shelf still had the sticky hook things, but it was also falling. So I built one bracket, like, I don't know, a couple years ago, that's really long. It's probably 18 inches long, something like that, but it comes up the wall where the stud is. It curves out towards, if you're standing at the sink, curves out towards you, makes a right-hand turn, and then runs the like 3/4 of the length of the shelf, so it just kind of comes up, over, and across. And so that's what's always been there, because I figured that take enough weight off of the hooks that they wouldn't fall. Well, it's been easily 2 years since I'd done that, and they haven't fallen. And I came in the other day, and that bottom one fell, and the bracket that I had built was still holding it, but it was kind of down and leaning, and all the spices and everything fell off. And so what I did was took some 3/8 round, and I built shelf brackets for the other three corners. Just little, just to the tune of, like, do a taper, do a curl, do a flat spot in the guillotine tool with a flat on the bottom and a fullering die on the top, and then punch a hole. Punch 2 holes in each bracket, and got all my measurements right and all that, and then I wound up attaching all the brackets to the shelf. And that shelf is not falling again unless somebody tries to stand on it. So I don't think it'll hold a person, because it's just held in with a couple sheets, and it's also held into, like particle board cabinets. But it will hold my spices, of which there are many. So I don't skimp when it comes to spices and seasonings. I do believe. I mean, well, at home I got nothing. I got a couple bottles of 903, and that is it. That's all I have at my house. Here I've got 120, 130 different bottles of spices and seasonings for different stuff.
I've got that much 903 left.
How much? I'll see it here in a minute.
But yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, lucky for you, I can bring you some more here in a month.
Right.
You got to use it sparingly now. That's got lots. That it is now. Tell me, is that stuff not good on absolutely everything?
I put it in everything.
Yeah, I had some cousins moved up to. They moved to Weatherford, which is up there, and kind of in Crawford's neck of the woods, a little bit south and a little bit east. Anyways, it's within 30 miles, I think. Anyways, they moved there from Florida, and they were from here where I'm at before, and they moved to Florida, and they've been in Florida for about 20 years, and they just moved back. We go up there every now and then to hang out up at their place up in Weatherford, and there's a Brookshire's just like a mile away from their house, and they're like, "Oh, Brookshire's, that place is so nasty. I won't even go in there." And I'm like, okay, you have to go into Brookshire's because that's the only place you can get 903. And they'd never heard of it. And I was like, hold on, because I'm not even kidding. Anytime I'm in a town with a Brookshire's, I go to that Brookshire's and I buy all of their 903. And so me and my daughter, we went over there and we bought all of the 903 and brought back, and I gave them one. And about 2 days later, David hit me on Facebook Messenger. He's like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And I'm like, why? He's like, because I can't stop putting that on everything I eat. It's absolutely amazing. I'm like, I know. You should try it on ice cream. And he's like, oh, I'm thinking about it. And I told him, I was like, I'm actually kidding about the ice cream part. That may not be so good, but
goes great on watermelon and cantaloupe.
But I told him, I was like, but I'm telling you, I swear, I think it would be good on everything, because I put it on just about everything. I don't eat ice cream, so I wouldn't know, but yeah. So
Paul Orchard is asking what is 903, and to kind of quell your gushing a bit. 903 is 9 peppers and 3 salts, and the O stands for oh so good on everything. So, yeah. It's a blend of seasons, different salts and peppers. You're just like, damn it, don't shut me up.
I'm good. I was done. It's all good. Yeah. So if you want, it really is good on everything. I think I gave a bottle to everybody at Quad State last year. I do believe everybody got one. And now, like I said, the only place you can get it is Brookshire's, and I imagine you can get it online there. But or you can get it online. I know you can get it online because I looked into that, and I was like, oh, $6. It's only like $3 if I get it in the store. But I gotta drive 80 miles to go to find one. So.
And if I was able to make it last a year, so can you.
Yeah, no, not me. When I fix the spice shelf in there, I literally have 12 bottles of 903 up there.
Yeah. Oh, is it spicy? Not really.
No, just good flavor.
Yeah, it's just good flavor. It's not like peppers, as in like ghost pepper, scorpion pepper, stuff like that. Reaper pepper. It's like black pepper, red pepper. I got it right here. I can read the ingredients.
Oh, there you go.
Green and red bell peppers, red and green chili peppers, and spices. I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, right. Now, see, now Dylan, you wouldn't hear of it unless you lived near a Brookshire's, because it is made for and sold by them. It's not. You can't get it anywhere else, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Kind of like when I sent Yamez that graphite powder in a Texas Tough Ziploc bag or whatever. You can't get those anywhere. You can only get them at an HEB.
Yeah, all-terrain bulletin.
What?
He said ATB, all-terrain bulletin.
No, HEB. Herman E. Butts was the name of the guy that founded it. Herman E. Butts.
I thought you said ATB.
H is in hotel, E is in echo, B is in beta. Oh man, I so missed an opportunity there. H is it's not even funny now, but H is in hotel, E is in echo, B is in bottom.
Ooh.
But
yeah. I tell you. Now I got a fun. I guess to me it's fun show lined up for this evening at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing bottle openers. I'm going to be looking into and attempting to make one of them guitar bottle openers that you see all over the place. If I can only remember where I first saw it, they look fairly simple, which means that it's going to be one of the most difficult things I've ever done. It's always the case.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah, like the pictures in let me pull them up here. The pictures in Island Metal Forge chat, where Robert Lonis was sharing his thing. Plant holder looks simple, but I doubt it is. Amazing texture work, amazing collars on that. So I'd love to do something like this. Yeah, love it. But yeah, sometimes it's the simplest things that just screw me up.
I tell you what, that's somebody that ought to better have a dang gallery entry this year. I tell you what.
Yeah, Robert Lonis. So you go in. It's a fireplace set. There you go. Okay. I was looking at that. I'm like, that could be so many. That could be an end table. Because all I saw was the stand. But very good job on that. Yeah, Robert, you gonna go and put that in the gallery at Quad State? Or rather, don't, because I want my jellyfish to win this year. All y'all need to not put something in. Oh, there's the final picture of it. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. All right. So, for all of you guys going to Quadstead, actually, they have the countdown up on their website, and it is 53 days, 22 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds now. So, and the tickets, they've not gone up in price. Tickets are $35 to $65. So, you can get them now, but I'm waiting for that pre-registration form. I love getting that and then showing it off. Zoom in on it. I've only got so much Zoom capabilities for the stream here. That's about all I can really do without changing all the settings in OBS. So, because, like, for example, if I were to, I guess, open original, you guys wouldn't be able to see it because it opens up a new window. If I were to make it huge and big, sure. But that's about all I can really do with it currently. Yeah. Roy is typing. Seeing him use the Roy face, no flux needed. Use that whenever you're using flux, and Roy stares at you saying no. I had an idea earlier this week, and I wanted to bring it up to you guys, mainly the channel members. I am thinking for adding more icons or more of the emojis, reaction emojis, these Island Metal Forge custom emojis, of holding some sort of an emoji contest for the channel members, where it kind of incorporates them into the channel a little bit, where y'all send me ideas and then we'll vote on them or something like that, and winner, their emoji would get added to it, and I was debating on some sort of a prize, where if you win, I'll send you something neat, but I haven't figured it all out yet. It's still kind of running through the brain case here. Just trying to come up with something for the channel members, but yeah. So, Roy hasn't made anything great in a long time. A long time, he says. That's a nice picture. Roy's sharing all sorts of stuff now. Great. But anyway, I've just started rambling. We can move on if you are ready. We can move on to the topic of the week, the metal of the week.
Sure. Okay. So, wrong page. All right. The first thing I got is a little bit of, kind of like I did last week, a little bit of this today in history. Wonder, so what might have happened on July 30, whatever was it?
First.
31st, throughout history. On this day in 1975, Jimmy Hoffa was reported missing. What else we got? In 1964, Ranger 7, an unmanned U.S. lunar probe, takes the first close-up images of the moon. And this is really irritating because this page on history that I'm reading this from keeps scrolling all the way to the top every time I stop. In 1715, a hurricane sinks 10 Spanish treasure ships off the coast of Florida, and it took over 250 years for them to recover all the gold and silver. Let's see. Flanders. Oh, not the same thing. I was thinking of The Simpsons. Also, Anne Frank was captured
Flanders.
on this day. Um, uh, no. Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956 signed "In God We Trust" into the nation's motto and dictated it, and also put it on currency. Also, Osama bin Laden was killed by U.S. forces on today. And also, Marilyn Monroe was found dead. And I don't have all the years on this because I got to click and go to every dang individual link. Marilyn Monroe is 1962. Well, I said August 5th, but I don't know. I was reading this day in history and it gave me August 5th. Close enough. It's before next week.
Sure.
Sure. Anyways, so medal of the week this week is
Hold on.
Cobalt.
You forgot one of the most important things that happens today.
Oh yeah, I sure did, and
it's okay. So today is a massively huge day. Well, let me tell you guys why. After these messages, roll that beautiful bean footage. No, July 31st, 2022, a great man was born. George Jetson was born July 31st in 2022. Yes, George Jetson is born today. That is all. Sorry, had to be done.
Well worth it. Can't believe I forgot that.
It's the most important day in human history.
Right? The first thing we talked about.
Right.
All right, so today's metal of the week is Cobalt. I wanted to really do this a little bit closer to tungsten, but hey, it is what it is. I'm getting it in while I can get it in, and the other option just didn't speak to me this morning, so Cobalt it is. Cobalt is the element number 27 on the periodic table, and just like nickel, it's only found in a chemically combined form. It's not found naturally all by itself. The only place it is found raw is in meteoric iron, and but most of it that is used is produced by reductive smelting. Cobalt-based blue pigments called cobalt blue have been used since ancient times for jewelry and paints and to impart a distinctive blue tint to glass. But the color was for a long time thought to be due to the known metal bismuth at the time. So, anyways, on and on and on with a bunch of stuff that nobody cares about with all of the metallurgy and whatnot of cobalt. But cobalt was the first element to be discovered, the first metal to be discovered that wasn't already known since ancient times. Because previous to the discovery of cobalt, everybody just thought it was bismuth that they were messing with. It was bismuth that was given the properties that they were using, and then it turned out it was cobalt. Because cobalt was really hard to deal with because the ores, I can't remember what it was called, but basically, cobalt, or something like that in German, and it means goblin ore. And so because they couldn't, they could tell it was a metallic ore, but they couldn't get anything out of it because when they tried to smelt it, it would just turn to a powder, like, and then there was also the fact that when you try to smelt it, it releases arsenic. And so, if you're anywhere close to it, it kills you. So hence the goblin ore. And so, yeah. Cobalt is used mostly today in as an alloying component in tool steels, and of course it's still used in pigmentation with mixed with various different elements, whether it's halides or oxygen or what have you. It does not. It does not readily oxidize because it's one of those metals, sort of like aluminum, that gets one of those oxide layers on top that protects it, and so the second layer of molecules won't oxidize. And yeah, so where we come into cobalt most often is drill bits. Cobalt is often, well, quite often, alloyed with tungsten, cobalt, whatever, as well as you get like a tungsten carbide. Well, there's also a tungsten cobalt,
Yeah.
and it's depending on usage, depends on what you want to go with. There are different properties for each one, and you'll come across tungsten cobalt most often in say drill bits and man, I cannot think that today just coming off. That's what I get. That's what I get for getting it up at 7 o'clock yesterday morning and not having slept since then. Yeah, I just right before the show. I got in from work like an hour before the show and popped in here and be like, all right, let's get ready.
Slap that coffee button.
Yeah. And I had all this stuff. Oh yeah. So cobalt compounds have been used for centuries to impart a rich blue color to glass, glazes, ceramics. It's been detected in Egyptian sculpture, Persian jewelry from the 3rd millennium BC, yeah, in the ruins of Pompeii, even, and in China dating from the Tang Dynasty, about 900 AD at the latest. And it's been used to color glass since the Bronze Age. The excavation of the Ulubrum shipwreck yielded an ingot of blue glass cast during the 14th century BC. Blue glass from Egypt was either colored with copper, iron, or cobalt. The oldest cobalt-colored glass is from the 18th dynasty of Egypt, about 1550 BC. And the source of the cobalt the Egyptians use is not known. The word cobalt is derived from the German cobalt from kobold. That's what it was, kobold, meaning goblin, a superstitious term used for the ore of cobalt by miners. The first attempts to smelt those ores for copper or silver failed, yielding simply powder, which was cobalt 2 oxide. Because the primary ores of cobalt always contain arsenic, smelting the ore oxidized the arsenic into highly toxic and volatile arsenic oxide, adding to the notoriety of the ore. Swedish chemist Greg Brandt is credited with discovering cobalt circa 1735, showing it to be previously unknown element, distinct from bismuth and other traditional metals. Brandt called it a new semi-metal, and he showed that compounds of cobalt metal were the source of the blue color in glass, which previously had been attributed to bismuth. Cobalt became the first metal to be discovered since the prehistorical period. All other known metals, iron, copper, silver, gold, zinc, mercury, tin, lead, and bismuth, had no recorded discoverers. And it's today in this day and age, it's mostly produced in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They account for half of the world's annual production, and there's some of it in a couple other small places, New Caledonia, Norway, Sweden, Saxony, Hungary, Ontario, Canada in 1904. Anyways, but everybody in the world put together, the Congo puts out 50% of the world consumption of cobalt. Stable form of cobalt is produced in through the R process. It comprises 0.0029% of the Earth's crust. Free cobalt, the native metal, is not found on Earth because the oxygen in the atmosphere and the chlorine in the ocean. Both are abundant enough in the upper layers of the Earth's crust to prevent native metal cobalt from forming. Except as recently delivered in meteoric iron, pure cobalt in native metal form is unknown on Earth. The element has a medium abundance, but natural compounds of cobalt are numerous, and small amounts are found in most rocks, soils, plants, and animals. In nature, cobalt is frequently associated with nickel. Both are characteristic components of meteoric iron, although cobalt is much less abundant in iron meteorites than nickel. As with nickel, cobalt in meteoric iron alloys may have been well enough protected from oxygen and moisture to remain as the free but alloyed metal, though neither element is seen in that form in the ancient terrestrial crust. So,
yeah, I think a lot of the rare metals came from asteroids and not asteroids, meteorites and such.
Well, a meteorite was an asteroid before it entered the atmosphere.
I thought a meteorite was a meteor before it enters the atmosphere. An asteroid is a stationary.
No. A meteor is what you see in the sky. A meteorite is any debris you find on the ground. An asteroid is what it is before it encounters the atmosphere.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not a scientist like you. Hey, Danimals.
So, cobalt alloys are used for dental prosthetics as a useful substitute for nickel, which may be allergenic. Some high-speed steels also contain cobalt for increased heat and wear resistance. The special alloys of aluminum, nickel, cobalt, and iron, known as Lillico, and of samarium cobalt magnet, are used in permanent magnets. It is also alloyed with 95% platinum for jewelry, yielding an alloy suitable for fine casting, which is also slightly magnetic. I'll be darned. The most common use of cobalt today is lithium cobalt oxide batteries. That's basically what our lithium ion batteries are these days. It's a lithium cobalt oxide. And that's my spiel, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can get into a lot more stuff that, like the radioisotopes and all that, but I mean, really.
Let's talk about use cases for cobalt.
Okay, it's also used in electroplating.
Yeah, there you go. Because of its similarities to nickel.
Yeah, its hardness and its resistance to oxidation mostly. And it's also used as a base primer coat for porcelain enamels.
Yeah.
Nuclear weapon designs could be intentionally incorporate cobalt-59, some of which would be activated in a nuclear explosion to produce cobalt-60. The cobalt-60 dispersed as nuclear fallout is sometimes called a cobalt bomb.
Sure. Right. Huh. Just reading the chat here too. Ortogov says, I have a few small iron nickel meteorites wanted to use for Damascus, but never got to it. Yeah.
I've always wanted. I only own one small meteorite, and it's about the size of a dime. It's an iron meteorite, and
you just can't find the.
No, I cannot. It's in them little 2x2 paper and cellophane coin holder things. Like collectible coins you'd put in. It's stapled up in one of those. I won it at a what do you call it? A drawing. I was a member of the Durango Diggers, the American Gold Prospectors Association up in Durango, Colorado, and that was one of the door prizes one day, and I won a meteorite. Usually they gave away little nuggets and whatnot. I did win a nugget once, but I also won a meteorite. That was pretty cool. And honestly, I like the meteorite better than I like the nugget.
Right. Sorry, just reading the chat. There's only one N in nuclear, or one U in nuclear. Nuclear. That doesn't sound right. Nuclear, not nuclear. Sorry, I'm reading the chat and it's like, uh-oh.
So chronic cobalt ingestion has caused serious health problems at doses far less than a lethal dose. In 1966, the addition of cobalt compounds to stabilized beer foam in Canada led to a peculiar form of toxin-induced cardiomyopathy, which came to be known as beer drinkers' cardiomyopathy. Furthermore, cobalt metal is suspected of causing cancer, i.e. possibly carcinogenic AIRC group 2B, as per the International Agency for Research on Cancer. It causes respiratory problems when inhaled, and it also causes skin problems when touched. After nickel and chromium, cobalt is a major cause of contact dermatitis.
Huh. Man,
And
it's amazing how dangerous metals can be. Something that, we like really attribute to being inert. And
oh,
yeah.
right. And how they can and by the opposite account, I mean, okay, so cobalt, inhaled, it can cause problems. Even getting it on your skin, it can cause problems.
Hmm.
Uh, Ingesting it, it can cause problems. But we use it in all kinds of different stuff. But it's the levels. It's how much is what's important. And as long as you're not ingesting a lot of it, yeah, you should be all right. And but you wouldn't really think of cobalt as being toxic, but yeah, it is. Whereas like you would automatically assume a sample of uranium that's bad. Well, not necessarily. There are like fairly stable isotopes of uranium, and you can like they put cobalt in glass to make it blue. Well, by the same account, they used to put uranium in glass to make it green, and that's
Yeah.
one of my great joys is finding uranium glass in thrift shops or whatever. Take a little miniature um, ultraviolet flashlight and go over their like glass section and just kind of shine it on the stuff and see what glows. And when you find a piece that glows bright green, you got uranium glass. And
Yeah.
I do enjoy looking for it. And and if it's because a lot of times they don't know that it's uranium glass. And it is slightly radioactive, not radioactive enough to mess with you because it's just mostly alpha and beta particles, no big deal. And now, if you crushed it up and then like snorted the glass, it'd kill you.
That'd kill you
But
anyway.
well, I mean, not just from the glass, but
Stop
I mean
it.
the
Animals.
having the radiation inside. That's what's bad. Having it, having a radioactive piece in your hand and then setting it down and walking away. That's no big deal. Well, I mean, unless it's the elephant's foot at Chernobyl, but in which case,
Ugh.
I don't know if you're going to hold that in your hand or not. It'd melt your hand off, but um, yeah.
Ugh.
So it's with radioactive elements. It's the inhalation that gets you because now you've got those particles inside you emitting neutrons all the time, and every time those neutrons hit a piece of DNA, they knock some strands off of it, and the things mutate and go bad real quick.
Is that what
But
that song "Radioactive" is about? Where like from Imagine Dragons, where like partway through the song he just breathes deep. Is he like snorting uranium glass?
right, right.
Oh, I break it up to ash and dust. Oh God. Oh. Yeah, I've snorted some stuff, but I've never snorted glass, and I don't think I ever will. Oh, I mean, family friendly. Yes, don't do drugs. um, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I have no opinion on the matter.
um,
Anyways, that's all I really have on Cobalt. Short and sweet.
yeah, short and sweet.
Mostly wanted to just touch on it. It didn't really have a whole lot that applies, other than the
But
fact that
it
often alloys.
ties. Yeah, it ties in with, like you said, you wanted to do it right after tungsten because it ties in with tungsten a bit. With the tungsten cobalt, the tungsten carbide.
Right.
Yeah.
And personally, I do like hand tools that are cobalt alloys. They do really make nice, tough tools, especially when it comes down to things like the little bits that you put the screwdriver bits. That you get the little set of bits that's got all the flatheads, the Phillips, the squares, the stars, the Torx. All of that stuff. And the ones that are cobalt alloys, they don't deform, they don't twist, they don't bend. When you put too much on them, they just snap, which I find preferable to rounding out because when they round out, you put the bit on there in your little what do you call it, power drill or your cordless drill, and you put it on a screw, and it goes, and you go
How do you spell that?
how do you spell what? You know what I'm talking about? That sound the bit makes when it skips around the screw without moving it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching a chart. A chart just went shook.
Right, and so cobalt bits don't tend cobalt screwdriver bits don't tend to do that. They will crack and snap off. But it still takes a fair amount of
torque.
In my opinion, it takes more torque to break one of those than it does to round off a cheap one.
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily going to last forever. But man, radium toothpaste. Whoo!
Speaking of screwdrivers, I've thought of something that I have a couple small pieces of titanium that I wanted to do titanium tongs, but the pieces they're just a little too short for them. They're like, I think 8 inches and 1/2 inch rod, just too small to do a pair of titanium tongs. But I did just think last night of doing titanium screwdrivers, because I got a problem with that, with screwdrivers. I tell you what.
HWAT.
What?
Yeah, radium was often used in for paint. They put it in paint and painted clock in the late 1800s. Whatever, they painted clock faces with radium because radium glows in the dark. I mean, you don't need a black light or anything like that. Anything with radium in it glows in the dark all the time. I mean, yeah. So that's why they put it on clock faces. And back in the day, if you could buy an old, I mean, you probably wouldn't find it now because everybody knows, but if you bought an old grandfather clock or something like that, in the back there would be a like, in the back where you access it for a compartment, there would be a bottle of radium paint so that you could touch the buyer of the clock over time, they could touch up the numbers on the face of the clock.
Right.
And yeah, turns out those clocks were killing people, and because radium's really, really hot. I mean, that's why it glows in the dark, not just under black light. Like hot uranium glows under black light. Uranium glows all by itself.
Tradesman, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. As much as it's like I have a passing interest in nuclear materials, but not enough for me to go, I'm gonna go get some and play with it because
yeah. I actually own my own Geiger counter, so there's that.
Nidavellir, how do? Yeah, I don't have a Geiger counter. I got an oscillator or oscillometer, whatever they're called. I don't even know if it works. I've never plugged it in.
Danimals Creations is killing me softly with his clock. I totally sang that in my head when I read it.
Killing me softly with his clock.
Yep.
One time. Oh, yes. Y'all get to tune in and watch, watch the science happen, and then watch me just devolve.
That's okay.
Smooth brain monkey.
Hey, but look at the bright side. Sooner or later, we're gonna circle back around into more interesting metals that everybody's familiar with. It's just I can't do 5160 every other month.
Right.
Pretty much everybody's gonna be like, nope, seen this one, I'm out.
I do want to do a raw episode again to get that on the podcasts. To celebrate the first metal of the week, which was wrought iron, over a year ago. Fun stuff. It's amazing. If I may take a moment and gut, how I just look at how time has passed and how insanely amazing it is to me that, I've been doing church. I started covering Blacksmiths Church, 2 years ago or more, almost 3 years. And, Sully and Adam have been helping me now for well over a year on this. And it's just kind of insane. I'd have to go and search up some dates. I'm horrible with, The reason you guys haven't seen a 1 year anniversary of Island Metal Forge, or 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, whatever, is because I can't remember. Like dates come and go. My birthday's in 18 months, 18 days, and I'll completely forget about it when it comes up. You know, there's just dates I just don't get them. Oh, and side note, Sully, I'm 0.3 B&B away from my goal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say, Bort Gov, you mentioned that Cody's lab got in trouble for obtaining radioactive materials. I was unaware of that. I haven't seen everything from Cody's lab, but I've watched a lot of his stuff, especially like I was especially enamored by him like refining potassium 40 out of bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Danimal, this says, Sully, when you gonna be in the lab showing its experiments?
Soon.
I got one coming.
I can't wait. Nidavellir, yeah, it's he says shipping metal has gotten ridiculous. That's why I haven't sent that titanium. Apparently sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, absolutely no rush on it. You know, it's like absolutely no rush. But when you do, if you have lengths, those half-inch round stock, or the what was the next size up that you'd sent me? The little bit bigger, but in like a 16-inch length or something that I can draw out and actually do a full-size pair of tongs with. I would love to have a pair of titanium tongs. I'd love to forge them. It'll take me forever, but I'd love to do it. Whoa. Okay, now I'm 0.4 B&B away.
Yeah, I got you there, Stephen. And yeah, that Stephen Parsons, yeah, especially that backwoods science, heating stuff up, then cooling it down, then lick it. If you know, you know. I know, and I'm not on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be great. Robert Lonis, 18 months. What kind of year do you have? That actually brings something fun up. I learned yesterday that, was it Pluto? Since it was discovered, and again, I can't remember the specific years, in the time that it was discovered as a planet and then denounced as being not a planet, up until now, it still has not made a single revolution around the sun.
Do you know who discovered Pluto?
Not Disney.
No, that was Clyde Tombaugh. And Walt Disney named the dog after Pluto because that's was his daughter's suggestion.
Neat.
Interesting. Oh, and Danimal suggested, Yamez, he wants to see you forge magnesium.
No.
You know, if you look back, there are videos of us forging magnesium, sort of.
Having magnesium in the forge.
Yeah, we put magnesium in the forge every year.
I have magnesium.
Yeah, I remember the first burn. I told everybody, don't look at it. Whatever you do, don't look at it.
Right.
Yeah, really quickly. You put that in there right over in the coal forge, right over the hot spot there, and it doesn't take very long at all for it to liquefy and run down right there around the tuyer, and shortly after it liquefies, it lights on fire, and boy, it's a bright good time. Yeah, but we used to. Well, I mean, I can't really say used to because we have every year, but we close out every quad state at John Coffey's with a magnesium burn.
Yeah, the closing ceremonies.
Closing ceremonies. Burn a piece of magnesium. Mercury completes a year before it completes a day. I don't. Venus maybe. I don't know. I know Mercury does. That's why Mercury has quote unquote retrograde.
You know, it's funny that we're talking celestial bodies when, I mean, I'm a celestial body.
I was so, as soon as you stopped talking, I was still taking that line.
I was gonna go into the obvious, your background. The real star. But oh my God, somebody stop me. Oh. Yeah, once magnesium ignites, you can't put it out. I believe they used to make certain car parts out of magnesium, and that was a real big issue with car fires.
That's where the term mag wheels came from. Back in the 50s and 60s, they were made out of magnesium. But if you blew a tire and you were stomping on the brakes, you would light your wheel on fire and burn your car to the ground. Because once you lit your wheel on fire, it burns until it's gone. You can't. It's because the way magnesium is, it's alloyed with oxides, and so it's its own oxygen source. It'll burn underwater. You literally can't put it out, and it burns until it burns itself out. They stopped. The only car parts I know of currently that have always been made, they may not be now. They may be carbon fiber now, but upper control arms on Corvettes were magnesium, and they were for like 40 years, I think, something like that.
That's why you don't want to spray a car fire with water.
No, it's okay.
Sure. Used to. It wouldn't do nothing.
Well, I mean, but that was a long time ago though, because you won't find anything magnesium in a car now. I mean,
long time ago.
And honestly, if it's a Corvette on fire, you're not going to be there putting it out anyways. You're just going to be holding your phone up, videoing it, going, "Damn!"
Not I.
I mean, unless it's your Corvette.
Probably still. What's up, Paul?
But then, if it was my Corvette, I'd be like, "That baby's insured. Let it burn. I don't want him to try to fix it."
Yeah. But
steering wheels, huh?
Steering wheels. Huh. This is, magnesium. It's light and strong.
Right. Yeah, I mean, how about that? Spray a grease fire with gasoline. Hey, I've done that. It works really well. Yeah. I mean, if you've never seen a flamethrower in action, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I remember once, we threw a propane tank in a bonfire when we were a bunch of dumb kids. It was the dumbest thing we've ever done. Knock the shed down.
Well, I mean, it seems like it'd be pretty anticlimactic. You're waiting for it to blow up, and the pop-off goes and it just blows a big flame up in the air, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, "Oh, man, I thought we were going to throw stuff everywhere."
Yeah. No, it didn't. I didn't say. We knocked a shed down, and that was the bonfire. And, it was at I was freaking young. Young to the point where I had the energy to run and jump. We were all jumping over it and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how magnesium compares to thermite. Because the tradesman says magnesium will burn right through concrete, and I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that phenomenon. Like that's why we worry a lot. Every year when we do our magnesium burn in the forge, we're always worried about burning the bottom out of the forge or something, or harming somebody's forge, because you definitely don't want to melt a tuyer. And so, you also don't want to put because like I think last year or year before, we had like a 2-pound square block of magnesium somebody wanted to throw in there. I was like, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. I still have that.
That's going to melt right through to the ground and then just keep going.
I still have that. And it reminds me, I have to.
Yeah, it's aluminum and iron oxide.
I have to mark. I have to find that bit and mark it, like stamp out magnesium on it, so that I don't accidentally think it's aluminum and start forging it. But yeah. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't want to, because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the pieces that we were burning were what, maybe like 1.5 inches long by 3/4 of an inch wide, something like that. Just a little bitty, and they're only like 1/8 inch, 3/16 inch thick, so they weren't very big pieces at all. But whoo, boy, did they put on for a good show.
Yeah. But let's see. Burns slower than thermite, but hotter. Yeah. I'll give it a shot. I mean, I've played with magnesium before. One fun thing that we were doing at Quad State that year is I had a baggie of magnesium shavings that we were walking around in fairy dust.
Yeah, that's always funny. You just walk by somebody's forge and drop some while they're heating up a piece or something like that. They just kind of turn for a second. And you just sprinkle some magnesium dust on, and they immediately think of sparklers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
But yeah,
I should totally get some of the. They got those things that you sprinkle in the fires that are all the different colors, or whatever. I should totally get some for this year. Just randomly toss them into people's coal forges. Wait, why do I have green flames? Wait, why is it burning purple? That's what the.
The blacksmith fairy spreading his berry dust. But
white phosphorus. I don't know. I kind of like to stay away from white phosphorus, white phosphorus is nasty. White phosphorus, red phosphorus. Red phosphorus is a little bit cooler, but I mean like lower temperature. But yeah, that's what we used in our when I was an A10 mechanic. The weapons guys, whatever. Our practice bombs were white phosphorus. That way you could see where they hit from up in the air and all that. So. That's right, Robert Lonis. Blacksmith pranks. Hey, what are you doing, buddy?
What's up, Adam? You got in right at the end. Yeah, the conversation devolved from Cobalt and the dangerous Cobalt, and then goes into blacksmith metals, different radioactive metals, and what fun reactions we can get with different metals, and then brought up magnesium, which we're all happy about magnesium, because magnesium is fun.
Hey, we haven't done magnesium yet, have we?
I don't believe we have.
Ah.
So maybe coming up soon.
Well, Adam, you have a great lunch break, and make sure you eat a bag of.
No,
chips.
Can't say. Okay, can't say that.
What about a satchel of Richards?
Oh,
gee.
There goes my hero. Seeing song lyrics. But anyway, with that, I think we'll go ahead and move on to our final thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Empty head, no thoughts. Went from church to nuclear weapons, things that burn. Science is great. Yes, science!
Yeah. So you know what? Get out to your shop, make something, have fun doing it, stay hydrated, and look around. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I didn't even look up. I didn't even look up the melting and all of the temperature constraints of cobalt. Now I'm curious, and I'm just gonna be like, "Arr." But anyways, um, sure, y'all y'all have a good week, and you know what? When you're standing there and or driving around in traffic, or you're at work and somebody's pissing you off, man, just be nice to people. It's easier. It's less stressful.
As
So
E.T. said to Elliot, be good.
there you go.
And don't forget to make a cake and celebrate George Jetson's birthday today.
Meet George Jetson.
Ding, 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 ding. His boy Elroy, Jane, his wife, daughter
Yeah.
Judy. All right, bonus points to whoever remembers the name of the place that George Jetson worked.
Spacely Sprockets.
How can you get bonus points?
Because I freaking knew it. I didn't look at it. I mean, like, you just asked, and I was like, I said Sprockets. I knew it was, at first I went Gears, Sprockets,
Yeah,
and it rhymed.
exactly, Adam. Don't forget to check out the Impractical Blacksmiths podcast and remember of the four elements: earth, air, water, fire. Man only stole one from the gods, and with it forged our will on the world. Very poetic. Very poetic. Well, I'd like to thank all of you guys for showing up and hanging out and tuning in and turning off and all that fun stuff. And like Sully said, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I hope to see all of you guys here this evening. Same bat place, same bat channel. I will be forging some bottle openers and having fun, just goofing around in the forge. So be safe, have fun, and thank you all. I will talk to you all later. Yamas out.